Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leap 2025. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leap 2025. Please take your seats. Today is about to begin.
If there is one burning question we must answer today, what does it take to leap? This is a lifelong partnership to lead, leap, and leapfrog into the future.
Them and to the region, which is a significant milestone to the kingdom.
Welcome to Leap.
In Riyadh at a very exciting time for the country and an exciting time for technology.
That will create an application that will take our energy industry to the next level.
We are going to build AI-based technologies here that we are then going to take into our global market.
And when the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia works, the world works.
Who positions Saudi Arabia as always the leader of the conventional energy, that it will be also the leader in the new green energy.
You have the vision here to know what good looks like.
His Royal Highness always tells me we're not in the business of announcements, but we are in the business of walking the talk. We're gonna come back here on stage and have every single CEO talk about how we made these announcements go live in partnership with you.
Welcome to the stage, Abdullah Aswaham.
What an amazing start for Leap 25. Can I get a big round of applause for the performance that we just saw right now? A blend of cultures coming together because deep roots foster economic growth in partnership with you. 3 years ago, we started a movement called Leap. How can we leap into the future in partnership with you? And I see some of the global CEOs here with us. Thank you so much for joining us to make sure that we leave no one behind. Because if there was polarization in the analog world and the digital world, we definitely cannot afford polarization in the intelligent age. And don't take my word for it. I mean, if digitalization was the largest social equalizer and economic multiplier, the intelligent age, if we leave anyone behind, it's gonna be the largest divider and demultiplier. As a matter of fact, I would argue that leaving anyone behind in the intelligent age is as devastating as depriving an individual of oxygen, water, and food. And don't take my word for it. Look at this slide. In the analog and the digital world, we were talking about the global north and the global south. For every dollar made in the global south, somebody makes 3x to 5x in the global north. That is not acceptable. And this is the same case for the digital age. And guess what? For the intelligent age, it's gonna even grow bigger and get more exacerbated. Where it's projected only 1 billion to 2 will join this exclusive club called the intelligent age, and 6.5 billion by 2030 left behind. If we look at these rows, if each row represents 10 people representing the human population, you're talking about 8 people being left behind and only 2 join this exclusive club. This is why, under the leadership of His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and in partnership with you, we have started a movement of how we can bring talent and technology for the people, planet, and prosperity. Look at these pictures. We started with the largest women empowerment story in the 21st century. We have partnered with the likes of Google, who joined hands with us in the digital age, and guess what? They're also joining hands with us in the intelligent age. We have Oracle, Apple, Microsoft, all joining hands. We had STC announce the MENA Hub. Thank you, STC, for doing an amazing job. And don't take my word for it again. The numbers speak for themselves. The investment thesis is very simple. Bring the greatest thinkers and doers of the world, the biggest investors and innovators, and magic will happen not only for our nation, but for our region and the world. As a digital economy, collectively, we have grown by 73% to $260 billion in the region. And guess what? The kingdom represents 50%. As a tech force, and His Royal Highness said that this region is the new Europe. We love Europe, but in terms of growth, we've jumped from 150,000 tech force to 381,000 in Saudi, and as a result, the region grew. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia alone, if you put it in the EU zone, we will be the 5th largest tech hub in Europe. And if we use unicorns and startups and scale-ups as a proxy for growth, the region grew to 15 unicorns. No wonder when the kingdom grew from 2 unicorns to 7. And to keep up the pace, we need to keep walking the talk with momentum. His Royal Highness always says it. It's critical that you walk the talk. And we have done so by celebrating one of the largest achievements for humanity. On planet Earth, we have Saudi women joining hands with women from the region, manufacturing high-end servers with HPE, and soon to be announced with Lenovo and Dell, to make sure that we become yet again the most success story in youth and women empowerment in the 21st century. But guess what? We became the largest even in the universe, where Rayana Barnawi became the first Arab woman astronaut to go to the ISS, the International Space Station, working on tumor organoids, fighting cancer for humanity. This is history in the making. And yet, in a true leap fashion, we're here to bring the CEOs to walk the talk. We announced last year the largest cloud node in the region. And Andy Jassy, my friend, was here a couple of weeks ago where he announced the Outpost and soon going live with 2026. We have Microsoft, Core and Shell for their Azure node, and we have Grok. Jonathan Ross is going to join me shortly on stage to talk more about it, of how we're building the largest inference node for the region. But we also have Arvind from IBM delivering on his promise, delivering one of the largest AI and software development houses for the region. And yet again, we walk the talk, and don't take my word for it. Play the video.
I walk away from here inspired by the change I have seen in the last 6 years. Because you are not just talking the talk, but you're walking the walk in a major, major way. And I think that this beacon, you will be the beacon of what I think is a new development model, how not only in the region, but for the world over. So I'm really excited about it.
Visiting the kingdom and the region and seeing the transformation and the opportunities. Let me also say the optimism.
Yes. Especially of the young people and the women. I mean, it's incredible.
It's mind-boggling.
Almost 80 years, I think, we have been in the kingdom. So we have had a long partnership, and it's been continuous.
We're going to bring the best technology with multiple availability zones to cover the kingdom. We think that this will not only have the raw infrastructure, but it'll also have the best AI infrastructure.
I think this could be the place where the opportunity is going forward.
I feel the energy of the academy. I feel the energy of the country. It's so vibrant, and this bold 2030 vision is something that I'm in awe of. And I saw some great examples here today of apps that these women have created. They're apps that make a difference in the world.
And dreaming big is the differentiator between really revolutionizing with AI or falling behind. So I'd like to applaud the boldness and the vision 2030. And I am personally resolute and proud to say that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia works with ServiceNow. And when the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia works, the world works. Thank you very, very much.
When the kingdom works, the region works, the whole world works. This is why we're moving from a movement with momentum to the multiplier effect. And under the leadership of His Royal Highness, he really articulated well. It's about his ability and the dream team and our partners globally to be able to predict market transitions, be able to allocate the resources, and make sure we seize the opportunities and manage the tensions between the challenges and the opportunities. And it's no wonder that His Royal Highness has bet on closing down the divides of the digital age by fueling cloud, entrepreneurship, tech for the region and for the world. Because it's all about the fundamentals. The digital economy promised us $16 trillion, but guess what? Until now, there's 2.6 billion people outside of that digital economy, 100 million in the global north and 2.5 billion in the global south. And this is why we are laser focused on continuing to be the biggest success story in closing down the skills divide, digital divide, and governance divide in partnership with you. And this is why, yet again, leap in, leap out, we are the largest success story in women empowerment in tech, surpassing yet again the EU, G20, and the Silicon Valley average. So can I get a big round of applause for all of the amazing women that we have here in the room? And within Saudi, we have two genders, by the way. So for Dr. Latifa Al-Abdel Karim, thank you. For Dr. Latifa Al-Abdel Karim, she is the only women leader from the region sitting on the table for the UN Secretary General, advising him on AI. We have Rihanna Barnawi, our women astronaut, and I think she's here. Can we get a big round of applause for Rihanna? And Dima Al-Yahya, who's doing a fantastic job delivering on the promise of His Royal Highness, digital prosperity for all. But guess what? As we shift from digital times to the intelligent age, yet again, we have bigger success stories in the intelligent age, where the world is moving from predictive AI to generative AI to agentic to autonomous. In generative AI, we have Dr. Ali Hassan, who has done a fantastic job tackling sickle cell disease with nanopalm. We have one of our brightest AI engineers, Ghaida Tasan, partnering with Ibrahim in Fathom.io, delivering agentic AI for our oil and gas and energy sector, delivering the lowest carbon footprint under the leadership of Aramco. And we have Dr. Firas Khalil, who has done a fantastic job in autonomous AI, delivering the world's first fully robotics heart transplant. And this is just the beginning. Because as we move from a movement to with momentum to the multiplier effect, Leap 25 for us is a defining moment. A defining moment where yet again, under the leadership of His Royal Highness and in partnership with you, the global innovators and investors, we're coming together to make sure that AI doesn't become an exclusive club for 1 billion folks or 2 billion. And we have to celebrate the ChatGPT moment of 2022, but we also have to appreciate and celebrate the DeepSeek moment, where right now it's alive in all American hyperscalers. Once again, the world does not need polarization in the intelligent age. We need to work collectively to celebrate these advancements, where DeepSeek so far is beating all AI models, with the exception of my wife, by the way. So, moving on to thank you for appreciating my loved one. Moving on to the 3 divides: compute, data, and algorithms. On compute, guess what? We're building the largest inference node for the world. Jonathan Ross, come over. And Tariq Amin as well. So Jonathan, last year you announced it here first with Tariq Fantastic job. Why don't you update the team?
Well, I'm very humbled to be here. Actually, this is the second time at LEAP, and Minister Al-Swaha invited me back then, and what was unusual about that was we hadn't gone viral yet, and Minister Al-Swaha recognized what we had. And working with Minister Al-Swaha and Tariq Amin, by September of last year, we came up with a plan to build the region's largest inference cluster.
Congratulations.
Thank you. However, we moved so quickly that 51 days later, we were serving traffic so quickly we beat other projects, and we believe we're actually the largest inference cluster in all of EMEA.
This is so significant because the world keeps talking about training, but what's more critical, it's the diffusion of these technologies across industries, not the confusion. And once these technologies are proliferated, it's all about inference and the reasoning. So, Tariq, why don't you share with us the great news as well?
So, a couple of really important things. I think, Your Excellency, you talked, rightfully so, that the number one objective that we had to do is really democratizing of the AI infrastructure. Not only we have done this, as Jonathan said, it took us really 8 days to have 19,000 LPUs serving today live billions of tokens. But what is really important, especially for our region, for Saudi Arabia, AI startups, government, enterprises no longer have to wait for availability of infrastructure. This is something available today. What used to take 9 months, now it takes you exactly 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, you could run your workload. We have really predicted, thank you.
Well done, well done.
And we predicted, Your Excellency, that the world needs inferencing. You need to run the models. And we predicted this right, especially with DeepSeek. And DeepSeek is also running live today in our data center in Dammam. Your data is locally stored. As soon as you use it, the data is not transferred anywhere. And so...
well done.
So I think this has really been a very important...
And I think, Tariq, we have to share it with the world. It was actually His Royal Highness 6 months ago when we were presenting to him building the largest training node for the world. He said it's about training and inference, acceleration and diffusion and adoption of these technologies. And speaking of adoption, we have a big one coming up. But Jonathan, thank you so much for delivering on your promise.
Thank you very much.
Tariq, we're going to need you to stay for the next one. Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan Ross, the CEO of Grok. Speaking of moving from AI acceleration to adoption, yet again, another breaking announcement coming here first in LEAP, how we could empower personnel, whether in oil and gas, public safety and security, enterprises, to be able to have a distilled LLM within their pocket to energize productivity. So Tariq, why don't we invite as well the CFO of Qualcomm to join you for this announcement with Alam and Qualcomm and Dr. Yasser Anezan. Where's Dr. Yasser? Of course you're going to bring your laptop for this one, Dr. Yasser. Thank you so much for your partnership. Please, the floor is yours.
So a couple of things, and I'll have Yasser talk about this. This is a world first, thinking about AI and infrastructure of today and the requirement for tomorrow. We also really envision a world that edge plays a huge factor. Lowering the cost of infrastructure is critical. Today, I would tell and announce to everybody that the cost of running models in Saudi Arabia and the cost of inferencing, as of today, is the lowest in the world today. There is no more premium charges. However, we also thought with Qualcomm, well, they innovated so much into chipsets and mobile devices. Can we take what they have done and put everything on the far edge? And this far edge works really nicely in a new concept called hybrid AI cloud. So I'll let Dr. Yasser and Akash speak briefly about what they have done, because it should be celebrated.
Please, and you should make it visible. Is that Alam AI-powered laptop? Amazing.
Yes, Your Excellency. So in the past a couple of years, we have been busy teaching Alam about language and understanding.
Can I get a big round of applause for Sadaya for delivering Alam? Amazing, amazing job. Thank you, Dr. Abdullah Sharaf and Dr. Yasser and team.
And now it's
you have a
time-
new capacity,
now
which we're going to talk about soon.
Yes. And now it's time to take it, and make it run in useful use cases in our everyday life. And I mean really everyday
So
life.
a distilled LLM powered on your laptop for your sovereignty doesn't need to be connected to the internet and has the same intelligence of using mixture of
On the cloud.
experts, distillation, all the way on your devices.
Exactly.
In oil and gas, field workers, public safety and security, across the board, we're going to see powered by Alam soon in partnership with Qualcomm across the board.
And you can actually be camping in the desert and you use it.
There you go.
Use it.
Thank you for talking about dead zones. We don't talk about that here. So,
Yeah,
Akash.
so Qualcomm is the leader in all edge devices, right? So we are in phones, in PCs, in cars. We are in industrial devices. We are in augmented virtual reality devices. We're going to take Alam and run it on every single one of these endpoints. It brings the power of the model from the kingdom to every device at the edge, and we're going to multiply the influence as a result of this. We are incredibly excited. We've done this over the last 6 months. The model was so capable that we were able to take it, port it into our platform, and deliver this product over a very short period of time. Incredibly excited about it.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Yasser.
you. Thank you.
Akash, Tariq, Amin. We're not done yet, huh? We have another one. This one comes from one of the silent heroes of our tech and digital ecosystem. Not only he runs the largest tech and digital company for the kingdom, for the region, but in terms of market cap, top 10 globally, but Aliyan Rutate, in partnership with Alibaba, decided to bring Quinn for the region, one of the most powerful LLMs for the region. And as His Royal Highness always keeps reminding me, this is yet just the beginning. Because under the leadership of His Royal Highness and in partnership with you, our global innovators and thinkers of the world, yet again, you keep making history in this defining moment and announcing $14.9 billion worth of investments and announcements in this leap alone. And rest assured, in a very true leap fashion, we're going to come back here on stage and talk about how we're walking the talk in each one of these announcements. But before I wrap up, I have to give a big thank you. And the big thank you is to Faisal Khamisi and Tahaluf team. Amazing job, Faisal. Of course, you're such a popular Faisal here. And thank you for your partnership with Informa, Munshaat, MCIT, Ittihad. Amazing job. And I have to thank our key sponsors. Cybersecurity, we can't live without you, Majid al-Mazyad. Sadaya Abdullah Sharaf, Invest Saudi, thank you, Your Excellency Khalid al-Falih. Ministry of AI, didn't they do a fantastic job managing traffic this year? Can we give a big round of applause for MOI? And they became number 4 globally in digital services. So transforming the physical and the digital world. And I cannot thank all of our key other partners and our biggest sponsors. Big thank you to SDC, Mobily, Aramco. We can't do anything with you, Khalid Khwaitar and Amin. An amazing job. SVC, Alat, Amity has a big announcement coming up. And let me wrap up by saying that the intelligent age is here. And in partnership with you, we're going to leap together. Thank you.
Welcome to the stage Tariq Amin, Jonathan Ross, the founder and CEO of Grok, and Ahmad Al-Kuwaiter, the Executive Vice President Technology and Innovation at Aramco.
Aramco is joining hands with Grok to build one of the largest AI inference capabilities for the industrial age.
And in Aramco Digital, we believe what is called inferencing. Inferencing is running models like NeuroS will be absolutely needed and needed much more in demand. Grok is one of the leading companies today that's providing advanced AI chipset for infrastructure. This is really the game changer in Saudi Arabia.
We came here and announced with Aramco Digital that we were going to deploy an enormous amount of compute here in the kingdom. Can you compose a poem about Vision 2030 in the style of Robert Frost?
A vital society, the first to rise with education, health, and joyous skies. A nation strong that cares for all, where families flourish, one and all. The second pillar, an economy.
Amazing. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we could not be more thrilled about what the team have done in a very, very short window. From idea to inception, this was almost 50 days of work. A thought to really build and democratize the AI infrastructure, not only serve Saudi Arabia, but to truly enable a global hub was a big vision. Taking vision to an execution is always an art, but when you really have a supporting government sector that really act as business partners, a Vision 2030 that is driven by His Royal Highness mandate to diversify this economy, we have many things that were going for us. Today, what we thought we would show you, when we did the demo in Gain, the data center that we used to run AI was hosted in the West Coast. And we have prepared a few thoughts and ideas just to show you of what is the potential on what this platform can do. I truly believe we have unlocked quite a bit of opportunity. I want to really thank Ahmed. Without him and his support, this would have never happened. And maybe just a few words.
Sure. Thanks, Tariq. And you're a great, incredible year that went by. Last year, this team here promised that they were going to deliver the first cloud AI inferencing center in the region. And they delivered. And so I want to just give them a big round of applause for a great job well done. At Aramco, we believe in technology and AI and its potential. And we don't just believe in demonstrations. We believe in scaling AI. And because our business is all about scale. So that's why we need to partner. No one company can deliver the promise of AI. It has to be a partnership. It has to be many companies that put in place the technologies that we need. This is a massive effort and challenge that faces the world. And I think we've done a great job of bringing together that partnership here in LEAP. So we are partnering, of course, with Aramco Digital, through Aramco Digital with Grok to deliver the first center. And they are now serving users around the world, and I'm sure they're going to give us some great demonstrations. But we don't just work with one partner. We work with many partners. We believe that it's going to take a lot of partnerships and collaboration to make this happen. So we are, of course, developing our own in-house computing infrastructure for AI. We've been able to, as we said last year, to develop our own large language industrial model, the first large language dedicated industrial model serving our employees and our operations across the company. Today it's 70 billion parameters. We're working on the next generation. We also are partnering and pushing AI to the edge. As we work with our facilities, we have hundreds of facilities around the world. Here in the kingdom alone, 120 major production facilities, and we want to see the use of AI pushed to those facilities. So developing that infrastructure is a great challenge, and we have many partners we're working on together to make it happen. So we really look forward to actually enabling that innovation ecosystem around our business to take it to the next level. And I think it's going to take the kingdom to the next level, inshallah. So great work, all of you.
Thank you. So with that said, Jonathan, I'll leave the floor to you just to go walk us through the demos.
All right, so let's show off what the new Dammam data center can do. So if we could bring up the screen here. All right, so what you're seeing here, so this is the DeepSeek model. Now, one of the problems with these reasoning models is they produce a lot of thought. And so it actually takes a while to perform the computation. So I'm going to ask it a riddle. If 3 people are in a room and one of them is eating breakfast and one of them is playing chess, what is the third person doing? And here it goes. And it's done. 1,300 tokens per second. So in about 1.4 seconds, and it said the third person, oh, it got it right. So playing chess. But notice this reasoning says, so given the information, giving people in a room, one is eating breakfast, another is playing chess, we need to find out what the third person is doing. And it did all of this in a moment. Now, let me show you one more thing. So this is a model running in Dammam. Let's show a model that was actually developed here in Saudi Arabia. So this is a LAM. And let's see how fast we can run it. Can you tell me about Vision 2030, and in particular how artificial intelligence is related to this, and how this is important for the kingdom? And it is done. So incredibly quick. Thank you. Now let's ask it to summarize. So can you summarize that in just 2 sentences? And can you focus on why this is important for the kingdom? All right. Now, I'm going to show you one other interesting thing here. Last year when I did the demo, almost everything was running on Grok LPUs, except for the voice. Now, we've partnered with the company Play AI, and we now have their voice running on our LPUs in Dammam, and we're releasing this in Dammam first before we release it anywhere else in the world. So I'm going to paste in this language here. And I'm going to ask it to generate some speech. Now, this first voice is going to be British, and it's going to generate maybe about 20 seconds of audio, and it did that very quickly. And let's listen to it.
Vision 2030 is crucial for Saudi Arabia because it aims to diversify the economy and reduce its reliance on oil. By investing in AI, the kingdom can create new opportunities and drive innovation, ultimately building a more knowledge-based economy that benefits its citizens. This strategic plan is essential for the kingdom's long-term growth and sustainable development.
Did you hear how realistic that was? And it generated almost instantly. So now let's also do one more voice, and I'm going to pick a deeper voice, and we're going to have it generate this again. And so depending on what you're using or what you're doing, you can actually pick different voices.
Vision 2030 is crucial for Saudi Arabia because it aims to diversify the economy and reduce its reliance on oil. By investing in AI, the kingdom can create new...
Now that's great, but that's all in English. And what we would like to do is the following. Can you translate that into Arabic? What if we had an Arabic voice that was just as good? And I'll let you be the judge. All right. Are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? All right.
تعتبر رؤية 2030 خطة استراتيجية للمملكة العربية السعودية لتنويع اقتصادها وتقليل اعتمادها على النفط. من خلال الاستثمار في الذكاء الاصطناعي يمكن للمملكة خلق فرص جديدة ودفع الابتكار، مما يؤدي في النهاية إلى بناء اقتصاد قائم على الماء.
All right.
Well, this is great, but I have a surprise for you. And it's not, so I thought we'd do one last thing, one last demo, and I really thought when you look at the power of generative AI, the power of fast inferencing, what could this do to an AI ecosystem that we want to create, we want to cultivate in the country? If we focus on the developers as well, can we do a demo to show the map of Saudi Arabia and the code to see how many people we could serve from here?
Oh, I know what you're at. Okay, so Targ's taking me off script, so let's hope that this works. All right. So this is something that will generate an application live just by speaking to it. This has actually been open sourced. It was written by one of our developers over a weekend. Can you create a map of the Earth, and when I click on it, draw a circle with about a 3,000-mile radius and make sure that you get it correct for longitude or latitude. So now it's going to start generating the code in the background, and it's done. Oh, and make sure that when I click, you draw the circle. It had a little button there, but I think... why don't you draw the circle where I click? One of the great things about speed is that you can iterate. Uh-oh. Let me try this one more time. Live demos, right? Okay. I want you to draw a world map, and when I click, draw a circle with a 3,000-mile radius where I click. That's how you know it's live. So let's zoom in. So this is Dammam right here, and that's the region that we can serve from here. That's 3 to 4 billion people.
So maybe at the end, let me just share with you, just briefly, what is next for us. If you could just show the slides, please. So today, this is really not a simple achievement. We have deployed truly a very large inferencing cluster, a high quality, but I want to emphasize to all of you again, there is no premium charged because it's deployed in Saudi Arabia. We are actually driving the lowest cost on infrastructure that has been seen to date, thanks to the innovation and the partnership that we have done with Grok. But when we mapped really what is the accessibility of Saudi Arabia in which the tolerance of latency would allow us to serve models, this is the ambition that we have. 4 billion people to be able to use an AI infrastructure that will have data sovereignty, data protection, as well as the lowest cost. A country that has an abundance of land, amazing connectivity, extreme advantageous condition on power and energy. We think this is absolutely doable, and this is the mission that we're heading on for both the training and the inferencing as well. So with that being said, our next big step is scale up. We have learned a lot from this 19,000 deployment. We want to really serve this, and the investment that Grok and us will be doing is $1.5 billion in the country to really address the market and the demand that we see. By the way, interesting enough, day one of just really activating the cluster in Dammam, we did not really anticipate this. But we already today, without announcing this to anybody, we opened this to the world. And we are serving billions of tokens per second today running in Dammam without telling anybody that we have done this. So we're very proud. This could have not been happened. I want to really personally thank His Excellency Swaha, MCIT team, Ahmed Aramco team. It was a collaborative effort. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Welcome to the stage, Tara.